If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, how can I stop being a quiet and withdrawn person all the time at 22 years old? Answer by Lucas Schweckendijk. Learn to accept yourself for who you are. Accept that there is nothing wrong with you and that being quiet and withdrawn has its perks as well, as long as you recognize them. When I was younger, I ran into the same problem and only recently found out why it changed when it did. I moved halfway across the world 3 times before I was 14 years old, having to change my entire life every time. On that last trip, we moved to the USA from Germany. We moved during the summer vacation, at the end of which I had a broken foot to deal with. Here I was, a child at the beginning of puberty, not even sure of what was happening to him, on crutches with a broken foot, in a new school in a foreign country, knowing no one and not even able to speak the language fluently. At that point I learned to be quiet and withdrawn because I was simply overwhelmed by it all. When I sat next to the other kids, I never felt like I could join the conversations, as they all talked about the last years, what they used to do or how great band was last year. No one ever asked me anything, and even if I wasn't able to talk much. So I just sat there, quietly and for myself. Things only started to change once I became comfortable with being quiet and withdrawn. Once I stopped looking to jump into the conversation, stopped trying to say anything and stopped trying to be someone I was not, people became open and asked me questions and we got into long conversations. I became comfortable being the foreign kid, not knowing anyone and having no place to jump into the conversations. Once I learned to be okay with this, I became more relaxed and everyone felt it. People started talking to me, I made friends in no time flat. And I even became more outgoing than I was before the move. Only in college did I learn why this took place. When you are nervous, you project that nervous energy onto the people around you. In the same way you instantly feel when someone is sad or angry, even though they haven't said anything. You recognize when someone is nervous and unsure of themselves. This is a big turn-off in the dating scene as well, but is present in all forms of social interactions. No one wants to be around someone nervous, as that person will be hard to interact with and push their nervousness onto everyone else. But when you grow sure of yourself, you remove that nervousness and that desire to be different, making you more grounded in who you are and appearing more confident. This then allows others to have an easy time talking to you and you may find you even enjoy it. It really has nothing to do with you being withdrawn, but rather with you being unsure of who you are. Become okay with the silence and others will be comfortable around you, making it much easier for them to start a conversation and interact with you. To do this, here are some tips and tricks. At the end, it all comes down to how comfortable you are with yourself. If you are totally comfortable with who you are, others will be as well. Stop being less than you can be and reach your goals. Send me a message saying coaching to work one-to-one with me. Lucas Schweckendijk. Answer by Nathan Lloyd Hewitt. First of all, there is nothing wrong with being quiet. Some of our best entrepreneurs, inventors, writers, musicians and artists of the world are quiet people. Introverts, as society would like to categorize us. There is being quiet and then there is social awkwardness. Quiet and awkwardness are separate. You can learn social skills and get better at responding to people and being comfortable in your own skin socially. However, if you genuinely feel inside like you don't want to talk to people, then stay quiet. Never feel pressure to speak up because you see how extroverts act in social situations. If you're introverted, embrace it. Us introverts feel more comfortable alone, listening to the sound of our own voice mindfully, observing rather than projecting. We get our energy from within, whereas extroverts get their energy in the presence of others. Of course, there are times when we'd like to speak up, but we get so wrapped up in the details of what's going on around us that we eventually decide responding is a waste of effort. I'm naturally introverted, but I'm also great at talking to people and getting along with the crowd. I'm not loud. In fact, I sometimes say nothing at all. But I have worked on my character and the way I hold and present myself in social situations. Therefore, nobody labels me as quiet, even when I am. Because my body language speaks louder than words. Again, you can work on your social skills and appear calm and confident socially, generating the same attention, if not more, than an extrovert who doesn't seem, for the most part, to shut the fuck up. So embrace the introvert that you are, but be willing to improve yourself along the way. Answer by James Haffer-Laren. High five. Here are my suggestions. It's exactly what I used to be, slightly less socially awkward. Finally I'm done. Now go out there and are these to use. But before you go, I want to inform you I have compiled a guide about how to build your self-confidence in the right way. Download my guide here.